So this is honestly one of the biggest keys to getting lean in 2022. What's up guys, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you tips and insights on how you can get lean and build muscle in 2022. And right off the bat, I want to mention my challenge. So this is a challenge going into 2022 where I'm going to be challenging you to get in shape, help you, support you, hold you accountable. So if you want to work one-to-one with me, there will be a link in the description to book a call or shoot me a text. My number will be down there so you can message me and get more info about it. But without further ado, let's get into this content. Alright, I want to take you guys back to kind of the start of my fitness journey, or I should say where I really started taking it seriously. Because at the time, I wasn't making the best decisions, but I didn't know that they were really bad decisions at the time. I was just trying to have fun. And that brings me to a point, my definition of fun. So, over time, my definition of fun has changed, and back then, my definition of fun was hanging out with my friends, smoking weed, drinking, partying, all that good stuff. And that was really what I was about back then, seeking a thrill or something that was going to give me a rush of adrenaline. But until December 2019, 2 years ago, around the same exact time, I'll take you back to the day. So me and my parents were at the Dakota County Jail, and I was being sentenced for violating my probation, and I knew what was going on and everything, what was going to happen, but I didn't want to face the facts. I had to make a change deep down. I just didn't want to acknowledge it. So we walked into the courtroom and I just felt numb. I didn't care anymore. This whole year had just been a mess, and I wanted to go have fun with my friends because winter break was right around the corner. But they stated the facts and sentenced me to house arrest, and I still didn't want to accept the facts. I remember it clear as day when the guy came up to me with a little box and pulled out a big clunky electric bracelet for me and put it around my ankle. I wasn't told how long I was going to be on this. They just told me to behave and be good, and then the sooner you'll get off. But I just knew this was my rock bottom, and I didn't see how things could get worse from here. Yeah, so this is when my definition of fun really started to change, and my story may not be exactly the same as yours, and it doesn't have to be. There might be a point in your life where you just feel like, I gotta make a change. I feel like I'm at rock bottom in this area of my life, whether that be in your health, your career, your finances, your relationships, whatever it is. You know you gotta make a change, and usually one of those areas usually affect the rest. So you gotta fix it, and you just gotta find out what to do. And we all have decisions, but nobody is going to make the hard ones for you. Some people in your life probably have a good influence on the decisions you make and we make, but at the end of the day, you're calling the shots. And a point I'm trying to convey here is that everybody goes through something. It's all about perseverance. I don't know what you've been through, what you're going through, or what might happen in the future, but you can expect trials, challenges, and tribulations. So I feel like the best approach here is to have a learning mindset. And really what this means is that knowing that your actions today will have future consequences. And when I say consequences, they can be good or they can be bad. It depends on how you deem your actions, good or bad. Like if you're lying, if you're cheating, if you're stealing, if you're doing stuff that is illegal, then your probably future consequences aren't going to be that good. But if you're playing your part, you're working hard, you're working strategic as well, and you're putting stuff out there with a good intent, then I'd guess that your consequences would be better. So really listen to this point. I really want you to hear this, because I feel like this had been one of the biggest changes in my life. So all we can do in life is learn from our past mistakes to create a better future in the present moment. So we have this present moment to really learn from our past mistakes so we can create a better future, because we can't do anything about the past. It's set in stone. So if you had a shitty year and you're not proud of it, don't beat yourself up for it. Learn from it, and we're going to get into some more stuff in this video that you can learn from it and make that into a better next year. Yeah, so to implement what you kind of just learned and everything, you can take some time to pause this video after I tell you the questions and everything I want you to go through and kind of reflect on, possibly in a journal if you really want to take this seriously. But if you want to just listen and pause the video and just kind of reflect on the questions, you can do that too. So the first one I got for you is, what were your biggest wins over the year? Well, like, what were you grateful over the year? And to give you examples, I'll just give you some of mine. So some of my biggest wins over the year, I'd say, is just staying in great shape year round, despite having other obligations I gotta attend to. And really during like the first half of the year, I was working a job I didn't love, but I was still putting in the work, and I'm really glad during that time I didn't let my health, like, I didn't make excuses. Like, I was super consistent. So that is just one example, and I do have more examples that aren't really health and fitness related, so it might give you some more ideas. And one of them is growing my YouTube channel. At the start of the year, I don't know what it was growing at the start of the year, but it has grown a lot. It grew a lot in the middle of the year, but it's still growing. And I'm excited for next year with it. And starting my fitness business and getting my first clients this year was a great win. And overall, I feel like I worked really hard this year and feel good. And I'm grateful for my family and the progress I've made and the ability to have the freedom to do what I do. So the second question I have for you is, how can you build on this momentum? So how can you build on the wins, basically? So some examples of mine are just by continuing to level up my health and fitness, by getting better, just continuing to learn about it, and also helping others through my fitness business by creating more content for this YouTube channel and really just staying consistent with it despite the analytics, the results, and yeah, focusing on what I can control. And another thing is, I want to get a job as a personal trainer in person so I can just get more experience. It's not what I think I want to do long term. I think what I want to do long term is more online work, but I feel like that will be good for getting in-person experience and learning more about the industry overall. And another example is by working even harder and getting more hungry for success and putting in as much work as you can, as if you're going to be dead at the end of the year. And before I go on to the other questions, I kind of just wanted to touch on this death part, because if like you're okay with death and you know it's coming, and you know that, like, I just think it's a good motivator that I know I'm gonna be dead one day, and I want to put it all out before I die. Like, I want to squeeze the juice out of life, if that makes sense. So the next question is, where did I come up short in the last year? Like, what mistakes did I make? So personally, I feel like I did come up short on some business and YouTube goals overall. I feel like I did pretty good in the health and fitness area, but I do set pretty ambitious goals. Like, I wanted to be making like a lot more in my business and everything, but I mean, I like to set bigger goals, because despite I didn't achieve these goals, I'm still glad with the progress I've made. And the last question I got for you right now is, how can you do better in the future? So my example here is still setting goals and trying to achieve them, but maybe being a little more realistic, still shooting, like, and like, I create big goals because I read Grant Cardone's book, The 10X Rule, And that has really inspired me to set bigger goals, because I'd rather, like, for example, if I had a goal of making $1 million, I'd rather come up short on $1 million instead of setting a more realistic goal like around 50 to 100K. So I'd rather not achieve the $1 million goal but come up short on it, because if I come up short on $1 million, that's gonna be a lot more than a more realistic goal at a lower level, if that makes sense. Now in this section of the video, I wanted to give a little more advice and suggestions to you guys on achieving your goals by acknowledging your barriers and overcoming them. So this is honestly one of the biggest keys to getting lean in 2022. Is yes, setting the goals, but also establishing and finding the barriers that are going to get in your way to achieving your goals, and what you're going to do when shit hits the fan, or you just don't feel like working out, like whatever obstacle or challenge comes in your way, what you're gonna do to overcome it. So let's address one of the biggest barriers to exercise and overall just healthy living, which is I don't have time. So my suggestions for the time barrier are really putting prioritization on your health, and also communication with the people in your life that this is a priority. So let's dive into this a little deeper. If you really want to achieve this goal of putting on more muscle and overall just being more healthy with yourself, then you're going to have to prioritize the exercise as well as the sleep and the nutrition aspect of health. Because without those elements, then none of it will be worth it, you know? And with the communication aspect, you have to communicate to the people in your life that these habits are important to you, so you can show up better in your relationships. And you may have to be a little more selfish with your time and not letting everybody just take your time, because one of the biggest things I see with people is that they're giving to other people, they're giving too much of their time, attention, and energy to other people, and they're not putting it into their self. And you don't gotta be super selfish. I mean, if you can exercise and do all these good habits with a friend or a family member, someone close to you, then the more power to you. And don't fall into the trap of really overworking yourself on work, not like fitness and stuff like that, because often I feel like we can get sucked into hustle culture and just like working all the time, no sleep. Like, I don't know, that's not what I stand for, that's not what I believe in. I believe that turns into burnout, and because it's not sustainable. So with this, I'd really suggest putting barriers around like when you're gonna actually work out and stuff. Like, when are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it like in the morning? Are you gonna do it in like the afternoon or towards the night? Like, figure out when you're gonna do it and make it as seamless as possible and easy to do. And another mindset around working out is not thinking like, oh, I gotta do this exercise, I gotta do this chore. More be thinking like, I get the exercise to enjoy my body, because this is really preventative, I don't want to say medicine, more care for yourself, and it's really taking care of yourself. Like, even though exercise is kind of hard and everything sometimes, like, this is really doing yourself a favor, and so you can enjoy your body throughout your life. So the bottom line here is not letting barriers or excuses get in your way of remaining consistent with your actions towards your goals. So tell me what you guys either wrote down or you thought about the questions we talked about earlier, or overall your just thoughts about this video down in the comment section. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit me with one of those. And if you aren't already subscribed, then hit that red button. If you are subscribed, I appreciate you. And yeah, turn on the bell notifications if you want to get in the loop and be notified when I upload these videos, because I'm trying to bring you content that is going to improve your life in the health and fitness area. And with that, gosh damn it. And with that being said, I'm gonna head out of here, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Peace out, Physique Nation.